Friday night question of the day: do you have the intestinal fortitude to be great? We also have the in-season tournament for the NBA. And I guess the active dates on this starts today on Friday and I believe Tuesday as far as the groupings and also, however, they count towards you advancing towards the overall championship. I think it's going to be interesting. I really do. I think it really is going to be interesting. It's crazy. It's going to be crazy. So the Miami Heat, which the Wizards travel down to South Beach to play them tonight, this game would count towards this in-season tournament. There is some monetary benefits for the players. And I believe there's some monetary benefits for the coaches as well. This don't affect far as it's still it's immersed within the season. And bottom line is it's just trying to, it's another, I wouldn't say gimmick, but a mechanism to get eyeballs on the NBA. It's football season. It's almost kind of gimmicky, but it's an in-season tournament, and it's not really designed for, the veteran players. It won't matter as much, but future players coming up in the league, college players, stuff like that, and they're just trying to get that culture going on where they can be more, enthusiastic about playing these active games towards the in-season tournament for the cup. I forget what they call the cup. It's convoluted, but it's simple. I don't see what the big deal is. Kind of, excited about it. So we'll see how it works out through the course of the season. It's no break in the season like most of these leagues. They have a break within their season and have this tournament. Soccer comes to mind, but it's not going to be that. It's just going to be immersed in the season on these active days of Friday and Tuesday, and those games there particularly. I guess they schedule it within your grouping, your opponents, and that would count towards you advancing from your groupings to meet, I guess, the other groups or whatever bracket it goes from there. So, to the best of my knowledge, I try to explain it, but I'm still learning at the same time. Also, NFL. First of all, I want to say, get healthy, Cole Holcomb, former Washington Commander, was having a pretty good season. He left via free agency to go to Pittsburgh and was having a good season. He got injured last night in just a brutal injury. And he was having a good year. And so let's hope he can get well. They said his knee is going to require surgery. He hurt his knee. And so let's hope he's able to get through all that and get through the rehab and get on the field eventually, next year, and we'll see how it goes. But it was brutal, and I wouldn't advise anybody to view it. So it's football, man. It's these things happen when you got bodies flying all over the place, and it was like friendly fire. His own guy kind of, in the action and whatever, and I think the leg whipped or whatever, something like that. But it was pretty catastrophic. What else I want to talk about? Did you see? I saw something. I don't know this particular politician or whatever that was in the club, and I did read a kind of like a bio where they were saying, someone was tweeting or whatever, Xing, saying that I can't believe how far down, what Democrats would stoop to get votes. I said, it's the same old playbook. There's nothing surprising. They only pop out when they need votes. They really kind of duck and dodge and usually make these little photo ops when it's convenient for them to come outside, to come out. And I guess they have their mandatory town halls with their constituents, but what else is new, man? This is what they do. you're kind of like almost in a catch-22. You do want to partake in the voting process, but when you see these type of gimmicks and when it's obviously they're just kind of like, trying to get votes, but they're not trying to be accountable for what the lack of productivity that they're getting into. It's just this politic thing, and I come to grips with it. It's just the way it is, and what can you do about it? So it is what it is. But that was just something I just saw. We do also have new music from Jeezy. We had a new single dropped by Benny the Butcher and Lil Wayne called Big Dog. I believe Jeezy has a double album out. I was listening to a little bit of it today, and it sounds good. It sounds good. So, if music entertainment, if you're into those things, if you're into hip hop, those are two out there that you can check out, amongst other things that probably drop today. Depends on what your taste is and what's your flavor. So that's just something that ran past my timeline, so I decided to share it. The Washington Commanders travel to New England this Sunday. I believe game time starts at 1:00. Take on the New England Patriots up in New England. Washington hasn't beaten New England in 20 years. I think 2003 was the last time they've actually beat them. And so New England's favored by 3. In most home games, most home teams get the favorite by 3. New England has struggled to score. They don't have really a dynamic wide receiver core, but they are professionals. How Bill Belichick is with young quarterback Sam Howell basically being a rookie and having a pretty solid season. But Belichick likes to bottle these type of guys up. They confuse them, blitz them. So, I don't know, man. Washington's in a tough spot at this moment. As you know, they traded away Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Chase Young went to the San Francisco 49ers for a third-round compensatory pick. A lot of people was in an uproar about that, thinking that was too low, being though he was the second overall pick in 2020. But it just didn't work out here, and I wish him well, and hopefully he can resume his form. And he was having a great year. He was having a pretty good year, with his pressure rates and stuff like that. But there were some games you can see he was taking off. I mean, lack of hustle. But, what can you do about it? So I wish him well. Also, Montez Sweat was traded to the Bears for a second-round pick. Hey, you gotta get some value. These are guys who weren't signed long-term, weren't on long-term contracts, and you don't have to franchise them. You can spend that money elsewhere. And with the Washington Commanders, they got a whole new, as you know, Josh Harris group. They got a whole, they want to win championships. And so they're going to put together the best people that they can in order to accomplish that goal. They just hired a director of analytics, pro football analytics and stuff like that. So I think he was kind of in on these, giving them the best scenario for these trades. So they're gonna run this thing like a corporation, man. They're gonna be really, really good. And the future is now. So I'm not mad at the trades. I wish things would have worked out. I wish we could have re-signed them, but we just got too much money invested in that defensive line with Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen. And so we have to look at, stockpile some draft picks. The big question, Sam Howell's having a pretty decent year for a rookie. He's hold on the, he hold on to the ball. He has a propensity to hold on to the ball too long, but it's a combination between the offensive line and not having time. So with these new, with the change out from center to Larson, who's the center, maybe you can get a better feel of the protections and stuff like that. So I'm still interested in the season. I wish our record was better, but it is what it is. It's going to be an uphill battle to face the playoffs, but you can control your destiny by winning games. So, and with Ron Rivera, his team's always fighting and scratching around this time of year. So we'll see how it plays out. But I don't know. They got a pretty tough schedule, but they got to beat the teams like New England. They got to beat teams like New York Giants. They got to beat teams like the Los Angeles Rams. And because they got a tough road. They got the Jets coming up. You got 2 games with the Cowboys. Again, divisional game with the Giants. The Giants always tough. They're just games. It's division. Throw the records out. You got to play San Francisco. You got them at home. But, home, we lost our last 3 games at home. House of Horrors. House of Horrors. Can't wait to get out that building, man. Really. I really can't wait. Whenever the stadium comes, hope I'm alive to see it. But for the future fans, I mean, they deserve it, man. Going through that Snyder era. So that's something. I did see Charleston White, who claimed he got pistol whipped. He claimed he got pistol whipped. He was in a barbershop in his hometown, I guess, in Fort Worth, Texas. Claimed he was asleep. Some guy come up, hits him 1 or 2 times over the side of the head with a pistol. I saw him filming himself or whatever he was posting from an ambulance or whatever, allegedly an ambulance. He had a Band-Aid on the side of his face. I didn't see any swell-ups. I didn't see any teeth missing. I didn't see any eye jammies. But, hey, he claimed he was pistol whipped. Unfortunate. I wouldn't, suggest anybody going out pistol whipping anybody, but he has said a lot of different things, and a lot of people take offense to what he said, and you got to be careful when you're out in public. People run up on you, and they take exception to what you might have said, or you just got to handle that when it comes to that situation. But I wouldn't be sleeping in no barbershop. I can't, I get it. You might be tired, but sleeping, it's crazy. But anyway, shout out to everyone out there, man. Shout out to everyone who worked this week and ready to kind of wind down and get their weekend on. I'm going to do the same thing. It's early afternoon on a Friday. I'm probably going to head on out, man, a little bit and check the traps.